The following is a live special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good evening, my name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program as we've reached the midpoint of our 2001 Action PC Baseball Season Odyssey. It is the All-Star Game on a beautiful night in Seattle, Washington. This All-Star Game, however, does not come without some controversy, as, let's just be honest, and I'll mention it through the game broadcast, I don't choose the All-Stars. That's all done by the computer. For the National League, it seems to be all pretty good. You get Randy Johnson on the hill for the Arizona Diamondbacks, gets a start for the National League. Joe Mays, by the way, gets a start from the Minnesota Twins in the American League. He had the best whip of all the starters. Pedro Martinez was also selected, and if he was healthy, he would have started this All-Star Game for the American League. Down to the controversy. Again, the computer picks the rosters. The roster size is, I think, 28 for the American League and 27 for the National League. This game is in Seattle, Washington. And as the Goats and D. Scott Howard congregate by the mound to throw out the first pitch, two, I thought, obvious all-stars for Seattle weren't selected. No Ichiro and no Edgar Martinez. Brett Boone is a lone representative from the Seattle Mariners, and he will be coming off the bench to do this. Again, I don't pick him. It should be a very entertaining game as always. We're going to let the pitchers go through the lineup once and probably start making switches in the field about halfway through. So no slides for the starting lineups. You'll see them all pop up anyway and all that. We do have slides. I think we got some interesting ones for you. So if you're ready, I'm ready. It's time for the All-Star Game next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network proudly presents the 2001 Major League All-Star Game. Tonight, live from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington, it is the National League versus the American League. And as always, presented by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you do? Can this game end in a tie? No, it cannot. We'll have pictures for that. How you doing, Scotty? And D. Scott Howard, as Joe Mays kicks the goat turds away. How you doing, Big Dave? Says, play ball. And that we will. It'll be Joe Mays from the Minnesota Twins who gets the call. Mays is 10-4 with a 2.67 ERA. Fastball pitcher, 87, and a ground ball pitcher. Well, we don't have his last start, because it's considered a separate league. So 10-4, 131 and 2/3 innings, 103 hits, 11 homers, 32 walks, and 68 strikeouts. The lineup for the National League: Sean Green will lead off in right field. Todd Helton gets the call at first to start the ball game. He'll bat second. Yep, the Goats ate the rosin bag. That's true. Todd Helton from the Rockies will play first and bat second. Barry Bonds is the DH from the San Francisco Giants. He'll bat third. Louis Gonzalez. Oh, yes, 71 degrees, winds at 15 right to left. The sounds of trains running under the stadium. Louis Gonzalez in left will clean up. Phil Nevin at third from the San Diego Padres bats fifth. Jim Edmonds from the Cardinals in center field will bat sixth. Houston's Craig Biggio at second will bat seventh. Rich Aurelia at short will bat 8th, and Mike Piazza of the Mets will bat 9th and catch. And Johnson, well, we're not worried about pitch counts. They're just going to go once through the lineup. Garrett Anderson of the California Angels, or Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim. It's Anaheim, I think, of this year. 6-5 and left. Bernie Williams of the Yankees is 7-3 in center. Maggie Ordonez is 4-9 in right. Troy Glaus of the Angels is 7 at third. Alex Rodriguez of the Texas Rangers is 6 at short. Robbie Alomar of the Indians a 10 at second. Jim Thome a 4 at first from the Cleveland Indians. Pudge Rodriguez a 10-9 behind the plate from the Texas Rangers. And as we said, Bays from the Twins at 8 with a 9.78 fielding percentage. The salt air wafting in off nearby Puget Sound. A full house here, ready for this one. The National Leagues in their grays and the American Leagues in their whites, and Ichiro and Edgar Martinez are the honorary coaches at first and third. Green at 334, oh, by the way, 29 homers and 78 RBI. And the 2001 All-Star Game starts with strike 3. A beautiful curve swung on and missed. And that'll bring up Todd Helton, hitting .350, 30 homers, and 83 RBI. Mays kicks and fires. Line drive to Alomar, and there's 2 out. For Barry Bonds at .313, the Giant, 32 home runs. How you doing, Bernie? 70 RBIs for Barry. This will be the year that he hit 73, so he is well off the pace as we start the second half of the season. Pitch to Bonds. Little ground ball down to Thome. Jim takes it to the bag, and that will retire the side. NL goes in order. Half an inning in the books, no score. So for Randy Johnson, a homecoming of sorts. He has had, I'm going up against Pickle Girl in the hockey playoffs. I can touch my elbows too, it's just not as sexy. Randy's 37 years old, hard slider at 94, and a ground ball pitcher. He is 11-3 with a .206 earned run average and 131 1/3 innings. He's allowed 87 hits, 13 homers, 39 walks, and a whopping 191 strikeouts. He will be the lineup he'll face. It'll be Robbie Alomar at second, batting first. It'll be Maggie Ordonez at batting second in right field. Alex Rodriguez at short going third. Manny Ramirez of the Boston Red Sox, the DH. Cleaning up, Jim Thome at first will bat fifth. Troy Glaus at third will bat sixth. Garrett Anderson of the Angels in left going seventh. Bernie Williams of the Yankees in center batting eighth. And Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate going ninth, and Mays threw 14 pitches to get his first 3 batters. Defensively for the National League, Louis Gonzalez of the Diamondbacks at 8-5 in left. Jim Edmonds at 10-9 in center. Sean Green a 7-7 in right. Phil Nevin a 4 at third. Rich Aurelia a 6 at short. Greg Biggio a 3 at second. Todd Helton a 10 at first. Piazza a 3 and a 1 behind the plate, and Randy is an 8 on the mound with an 8.79 fielding percentage. I think I told Dave this earlier. Tomorrow, because the Hawks forced a Game 6 in their series against the Celtics, that arena is now double booked. Somehow they're supposed to squeeze in a basketball game and a Janet Jackson concert in there at the same time. Robbie Alomar at .345, 11 homers, and 61 RBI. This is must-see Twitch TV. Use it, DVR for the hockey. So Alomar digs in. Randy deals. Fly ball left field. Gonzalez will make the catch, 1 out. Last Saturday was the first time, Scotty says, the Mariners, 40,000, outdrew the Sounders, 30,000. In concurrent games across the street, crazy post-game atmosphere, both won. and a purple haze lit across the sky. Kraken are in the playoffs, too. Here's Maggie Ordonez, Maglio at 328, 16 homers and 65 RBI. Struck him out. 2-2 slider, got him looking. So 2 out for A-Rod. 303, 27 homers and 71 RBI. Randy fires. Got him! A called strike 3, and that'll do it. After 1 inning here. No score. So Gonzalez, Nevin, and Edmonds to face Joe Mays. Maybe the unlikeliest person you would ever think to start an All-Star game. Gonzalez at 322, oh, by the way, 32 homers and 82 RBI. Fly ball, right center field. Bernie, 1 out. Phil Nevin at 305, 27 homers and 72 RBI. Cracking Game 6 is tonight. Sounders have the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup game. And because we go early for the West Coast, it's only 5:40 out there, he's not missing a thing. Game 5. Okay. Phil Nevin at 305, 27 homers and 72 RBI. Mays deals, and that's the first base runner of the All-Star game, a walk. Full count fastball down and in for Jim Edmonds, hitting 321, 18 homers and 45 RBI. These lineups are loaded. Again, talk radio talking about the Ichiro and Edgar Martinez snub. But they are in the building signing autographs and having a good time. Pitch to Edmonds. Ball 4, so Mays has walked 2. 2 on, 1 out for Craig Biggio. Hitting 330, 14 homers and 47 RBI. There's a section above the manual scoreboard down the line and left, and all you heard when Biggio's name was introduced was buggy whips. So first and second, don't know what the heck that's all about. Base hit left field. Anderson will pick it up. Nevin will round third and hold, and the National League has him loaded with 1 out. And again, the sound of whips fill the air. Here's Rich Aurelia. Rich at 279, 9 homers, and 40 RBI. So Mays in a load of hurt here with 1 out in the second. Aurelia, base hit left field. Anderson and Williams go for it. Nevin will score. Edmonds with okay speed. It's Bernie Williams. And his throw to the plate is close. And they got him. So they get Edmonds trying to score. However, the ball gets away. And Biggio and Aurelia move up. So technically not an error. But the runners move up as Edmonds knocked over Pudge. Yep, those whips, of course, came from the corner of Smith and Main. They are Steeler fan buggy whips. So Biggio on third, Aurelia on second, 2 out now, 1-0 National League. So Mays will not pitch the third. Piazza at 292, 21 homers and 48 RBI for the Mets. Gets away from Pudge and everybody moves up 90. So it's 2-0 National League on a wild pitch. So 3-1 the count to Piazza. Liner to center, Williams makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But a big inning for the National League. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After an inning and a half, it's the NL2, the American League, nothing. So Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, and Troy Glaus to face Randy Johnson here in the second. Manny at 309, 26 homers, 82 RBI. It was nice to see both teams surround themselves in front of D. Scott Howard's goats before the game. One wearing a Dodgers uniform, another a Mariners uniform, while a third was eating a Giant uniform. Pitch to Manny. Ground ball to third. Nevin has to hurry. Goes over to Helton. And Manny is retired. For Jim Thome, hitting .367. You wouldn't expect that from Jim. 22 homers and 64 RBI. Randy winds and deals. Struck him out. That's 3 for the big unit. An 0-2 slider. Got him looking. 2 out for Glaus at 259, 22 homers, and 61 RBI. Troy looks so happy in that Angel uniform, doesn't he? And Glaus is the first American League runner. The Goats do like garbage for dinner. Thankfully, the one that Barry Bonds signed was not the one that the Goats ate. So 2 out for Garrett Anderson. Anderson at 307, 16 homers, and 74 RBI. Base hit left field, so the AL won't be no hit. And Glaus, with 2 out, is not going to run. So first and second, 2 out. Joe Torre is in the American League dugout. And I want to say Bobby Valentine with the Mets is in the National League dugout. Bernie Williams at 286, 16 homers and 54 RBI. 2 on. Bernie into right. Green will haul it in, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and 1 hit, no errors. We go to the third here at Safeco, the National League 2, the American League 1. And so the first of many pitching changes in this ball game. And so the Seattle ace, Freddie Garcia, is the next one out of the chute. Gets a good hand from the home team. 10-6 on the year. A 3.26 ERA. Just 24 years old. Fastball pitcher, 89, and a standard pitcher. Freddie, 135 in the third inning, so 110 hits. Just 6 home runs, 39 walks, and 69 strikeouts. Lou Piniella smoking a cigarette somewhere in the AL dugout, of course. We'll show you the standings in detail in a few moments. Shawn Green struck out to start this ball game. We're going to give the teams 2 at-bats before we start pulling out hitters. Fly ball, right center. Bernie makes the catch. 1 out for Helton. Todd 0 for 1. We hear from the National League dugout that Randy Johnson's night is done, that someone else will face Pudge Rodriguez. Helton 0 for 1. Popped up. A-Rod makes the catch. So a lot of former Mariners getting a good hand here too. 2 out for Barry Bonds, who's 0 for 1. Line drive, base hit up the middle. So Bonds is the third hit for the NL. And that'll bring up Louis Gonzalez, who's 0 for 1. 2-0 National League. They got to Joe Mays. Garcia deals. Base hit right center all the way to the wall. Williams will get it around there. Bonds, is he going to round third? He will, and score with ease. Louis looking for 3. The throw to Glaus is not in time. So a triple by Louis Gonzalez makes it 3-0 National League. The Picklewick girl just wrote Louis Gonzalez's name on her toy. Here's Nevin. He walked and scored in the second. So a rough inning for Freddie Garcia. Base hit left field. It's past A-Rod. Trust me, Scotty says, A-Rod not getting a warm welcome from the real Seattle fans at the game. So it's now 4-0 National League. And I'll bring up Jim Edmonds, who walked. So the NL coming in with some power. Pitch to Edmonds. Struck him out. So Freddie Garcia shakes his head. That will be his inning. So the NL, however, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Bottom of the third here at Safeco. 4-0 National League. So next out of the gate, how you doing, DJ? Bob's Discount Furniture, a proud sponsor of Retro Sports Network. I'll take that penny, John. And so Russ Ortiz gets a call out now. Russ leads the National League and wins. $12-4, a 3.69 ERA, 117 innings for the Giants, 104 hits, 8 home runs, 53 walks, and 85 strikeouts. Russ is 27, throws the fastball at 92, and is a ground ball plus pitcher. Ivan Rodriguez at 267, 13 homers, and 43 RBI. Pudge is either 1 day older than I am or 1 day younger than I am. But he was born in 1971. And so this year we both turned 52 together. Wind blowing in from right at 15. The roof open on this beautiful night in Seattle. Pitch to Pudge is a line drive to Nevin for the out, 1 away. Brings up Robbie Alomar, who's 0 for 1. 4-0 National League here in the third. I know this is baseball, but do you have any desire to show off the DK football tomorrow when it's released? Considering I haven't bought it and probably won't buy it, the answer to that is no. Al Red Sox fan might do something with it. Pitch to Alomar, and Robbie draws the walk. Here's Maggie Ordonez. He struck out his first time up. Yeah, no, doesn't hurt to ask. And usually they keep missing their release dates anyway by a day. I will be on tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern, by the way, to do some OOTP Perfect Team. Someone got that for me, and so we'll be figuring that out together. That's at 7:30, so you'll watch it later. If you're going to watch RJL's NLCS, I believe, is tomorrow. Giants and the Expos, I think. Ordonez, Watts. So first and second now. 1 out for Alex Rodriguez, who gets a Bronx cheer here in the bottom of the third. 4-0 National League. Good speed on the bases. Should I? Let's do it. Ortiz looks to be asleep at the wheel. Piazza with a bad arm. Alomar slides, and everybody's safe. So it's a double steal. Alomar to third and Ordonez to second. It's the last time you saw that in an all-star game. So first and second, a 1-strike count to A-Rod and just 1 out. And A-Rod draws the walk. So the bases are loaded for Manny Ramirez, who is 0 for 1. He now is the tying run at the plate. Got him! Manny just watched a 2-2 curve. So 2 out for Thome, who struck out his first time up, facing Randy Johnson. So Ortiz has struggled in his inning. Ground ball right back to Ortiz, over to Helton, and that'll do it. So the NL gets them loaded, and Ortiz works out of the jam. We go to the 4th, 4-0 National League. So Barry Zito will come in. Zito 7-3, 117 2/3, earned run average of 275, 97 hits, 12 homers, 46 walks, and 132 strikeouts. Zito, 23 years old, curveball at 92, and a ground ball pitcher. Biggio, 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Line drive, center field. And the NL apparently has come loaded for Bear, and that's their 6th hit. So here's Aurelia. Rich singled and has driven in a run. John, I'm not sure what new features are in the football game this year. Does anybody really know? Pitch to Aurelia. Ground ball to A-Rod. Alomar for 1, over to Thome, and they do turn it. So you can hear the laughter from the box of goats. 2 out here for Piazza. Mike is 0 for 1. Zito deals. Base hit left field. Anderson will pick it up. Throws it in. 7th hit now for the National League. And that'll bring up Green. Sean is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Fly ball, right field, Ordonez. And that's foul. Somebody from Olympia made that catch. So it's 0-2 to Green. Little ground ball down to Thome, and that will retire the side. So, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We're going to pull Russ Ortiz, but first we're going to show you some standings. It's 4-0 National League. So, as we reach the break, here are the 6 divisions and where we stand. In the National League East, the Phils, a half-game lead over the Marlins. Atlanta 2 back, the Mets 6 back, and Montreal not great. You got to think that Philly, Florida, and Atlanta, the Mets aren't horrible. But I really think it's going to be a 3-team race between the Phillies, the Marlins, and the Braves. In the Central, Houston, the Cubs, those are the 2 teams to watch. The Reds and the Cardinals. The Reds haven't completely disappeared. The Cardinals, I believe, won that division in real life, didn't they? They're 7 back. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee, they just can't get anything together, although Milwaukee has played better than their horrible, horrible start. In the West, I'm surprised at this. 5.5 game lead over Colorado and Arizona, but I believe it was Tribe Fan that was telling me on Monday that Arizona pretty much made up that deficit at the break to begin with. Dodgers and Padres are under 500. American League East, the Yankees, with the Red Sox injuries, are running away with it, 56-30. We won't take too long to dwell on that one. Here's the surprise. It's the White Sox. They're 55-30. Them and Cleveland, 3 games apart, and then everyone else is being lapped. The Twins are 20 back, the Royals 21 back, and the Tigers 23.5. And maybe the other surprise isn't the fact that Seattle isn't playing super duper baseball, but Oakland is still within a shout. Anaheim and Texas are well back. And that is a division by division look at the standings. All right, we're going to go with Kerrywood. Kerry 9-2 with an earned run average of 228, 110 in the third innings, 73 hits, 8 homers, 54 walks, 145 strikeouts. 24 years old, throws that cutter at 97, and is a ground ball plus pitcher. What a year he is having. So Glaus has walked his first time up. You guys got awful quiet in the chat. Long drive. Goodbye. So Troy Glaus puts the American League on the board right above the scoreboard out there in left field. And so now the score is 4-1. The cameras have cut to the goats eating a plate of deep-fried grasshoppers and a round of local microbrews. I'd hate to be the one to clean up the truck on the way back to the farm after that, but that's just me. Garrett Anderson singled his first time up. First run for the American League, now a 4-1 ball game. Ground ball to Biggio. Over to Helton. And there's one out for Bernie Williams, who's 0 for 1. Wood deals. Popped up. Piazza to the screen and back. And that's foul, so the count is 1-2. Struck him out. A 1-2 changeup took something off it right down Broadway. So 2 out for Pudge, who is 0 for 1. Ground ball, base hit, right side. So Biggio should have made that one. So the American League with a couple hits. Here's Alomar. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Robbie hits a ground ball right side for a base hit. So the American League showing some patience at the plate as Pudge moves on to third. So here's Ordonez. Maggie is walked and struck out. So Chicago versus Chicago right here. 2 out in the 4th. Throw to first, Alomar back. Robbie stole the base. Was a double steal earlier on. Chopper to Biggio, over to Helton, and that will retire the side. American League get the run on the solo shot by Troy Glaus on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the 5th in a 4-1 ball game. National League leads. So, yeah, we're going to have on John Herson, by the way, Saturday night, episode of Digital Dice, live, 7:30 Eastern Time. So if you're curious about the game, want to meet the owner, come join us for that. We're going to make Bartolo Colon, by the way, the extra inning pitcher. So Musina is next. Mike 11-4 with a 2.91 ERA, 32 years old, curveball at 88, and a ground ball pitcher. 126 2/3, 100 hits, 9 homers, 31 walks, and 123 strikeouts. And now we'll start the process of switching out some hitters here. So we'll take the National League for the inning. And the American League will be run by the computer. And we need the first baseman. So Helton will come out. And Ryan Klesko will come in. Klesko at 274. 21 homers and 63 RBI, and he is with the Padres. So Musina to face Klesko here. Ground ball right side. So Ryan has a hit. We'll leave Barry Bonds in for one more at bat. Barry 1 for 2 with a run scored. 4-1 National League here in the top of the 5th. And they're going to walk Bonds in an all-star game. We're bringing Luis Gonzalez, who will hit. Luis 1 for 2 with a triple and an RBI, and he's got a chance to blow this one right here, right now. To Alomar, might be 2. A-Rod for 1. Gonzalez will make it, as they don't throw. So first and third for Nevin. Who's playing third? And so we're going to let the kid, the rookie, play tonight. Albert Pujols at 309, 19 homers, and 64 RBI. So Klesko on third, Gonzalez on first, and they tell me this Pujols kid can play. With the Cardinals, of course, Musina delivers, and Pujols punches this one into center for a base hit. Klesko will single or score. Gonzalez on second and Pujols on first, and we will let the teammate Jim Edmonds take the at-bat. He's 0 for 1. He's walked and struck out. So 5-1, 1 out. National League here in the 5th. Base hit right field. Ordonez picks it up. Edmonds chugging for 2. Gonzalez scores. And it's 6-1 National League. I'm seeing my childhood gang flash in front of my eyes with this all-star game. Goodness gracious. So out comes Biggio. And in comes Todd Walker of the Rockies at 307, 15 homers and 53 RBI. So second and third, 1 out in a 6-1 game. And Musina walked him. And Musina is not a happy camper. So we'll let Aurelia bat 1 for 2, a single and RBI. 1 out, and the NL threatening to rip this one open. Shallow left center. Bernie rides the Schwinn, makes the catch. Pujols goes back. They're going to run on him. The throw to the plate is Got him! How about that? 2 runs more for the National League, however, halfway home on a cloudy 47-degree night in Burlington. It's the National League 6, the American League 1. Well, if you joined us late, it's been all National League all the time. We'll get to the changes in a minute. Rich Aurelia with a single to score Phil Nevin to make it 1-0 in the second. And Craig Biggio scored on a wild pitch by American League starter Joe Mays to make it 2-0. In the third, they doubled their pleasure, doubled their fun. Louis Gonzalez tripled to score Barry Bonds. And then Nevin, a single to score Louis Gonzalez to make it 4-0. American League drew 3 walks in the third, couldn't score. The lone run for the AL was a solo shot by Troy Glaus, the lone homer of the game. Put that one by where the goats are eating some grasshoppers and beers, out in left center field. And in the fifth, the NL sent 7 to the plate and put 2 more on. Albert Pujols singled home Ryan Klesko, and then Jim Edmonds doubled home Louis Gonzalez. So the starting pitchers, they both went 2. Randy Johnson struck out 3. And Joe Mays went his 2 innings, and he was pretty much nervous. So none of the American League pitchers have done all that well. And so Javi Vasquez of the Montreal Expos, 7-3. 139 2/3 innings, a 2.90 ERA. 114 hits, 16 homers, 22 walks, and 134 strikeouts. Javi's 24, fastball at 90, and is a standard pitcher. So Derek Jeter will pinch hit for Alex Rodriguez. The Goats took in the view from atop the Space Needle earlier, followed by a stop at Pike Place Market to catch some salmon at the famous fishmonger. Those Goats are having a day and a half. Jeter in for A-Rod at 324, 13 homers and 44 RBI. So far, the defense changes for the National League are in the infield. Albert Pujols was an 8 at third. Wow. Todd Walker is 7 at second, and Klesko a 5 at first. So the American League down 6-1 as we start the bottom of the fifth. Up the middle, ground ball, base hit. So Jeter starts with the single. And we will, I believe, go with Tejada as the DH. So Miguel from the A's at 285, 15 homers and 64 RBI. Edgar Martinez, we thought had made the team, but was not picked. Vasquez goes to Tejada, ground ball to Aurelia, might be 2 here. Walker for 1, Klesko for 2. So 2 out for Jim Thome. Do I want to pull him right away? We'll bring in Mike Sweeney from the Royals, hitting .323, 24 homers, 68 RBI. In the left center and deep, Edmonds will rake it down, and that will retire the side. So the AL not giving us a pretty good game at all. After 5, 6-1 NL. So Jeter a 5 at short, Sweeney a 7 at first. Tim Hudson may get to go 2 here. Hudson 10 and 5 with the A's, a 3.70 ERA, 129 innings, 110 hits, 15 homers, 54 walks, and 94 strikeouts. 25 years old, fastball at 91, and a ground ball plus pitcher. And again, we will switch and do the NL here. So Piazza's day is done. Jason Kendall will come in. The Pirate at 287, 5 homers and 34 RBI. And again, Hudson trying to go 2 here. And what's turned out to be kind of a blowout, 6-1 National League. Kendall, line drive to Glaus, 1 out. So Sean Green's day is done. Larry Walker will come in. Larry at 357, 23 homers, and 70 RBI. So the season will start next Tuesday night at 8:30. We'll do 3 games. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all interleague. As we make a race now over the next 2 months before my vacation to get you through to September of this replay. Pitch to Walker. There's a fly ball right center. Bernie moving over. Makes the catch. 2 out for Klesko. As it's now raining here in Burlington. Has a single and a run scored. So, I don't know how many people are still watching. I mean, it's not a great all-star game, but I think I have an idea for a football project I want to bounce off you guys. Pitch to Klesko. Base hit right center field. Williams will pick it up. And so 2 out. And a big hand will go up as Vladimir Guerrero will come in to be the DH. Vladdy with the Expos at 287, 21 homers, and 68 RBI. Klesko on first, 2 out. Hudson deals. Liner in the left. Anderson will pick it up off a hop. And the NL just keeps ticking along. Klesko moves to third. Brian Giles from the Pirates will come in. Giles at 290, 16 homers and 58 RBI. So the NL bench pretty much all spent now. Pitch to Brian. Ground ball to Jeter. Takes to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. So the National League, no runs, 2 hits. They've gotten 12 so far in this game. No errors. Bottom of the 6th, 6-1 NL. So with Vasquez only throwing 10 pitches in his inning, he'll get that second inning in the 6th here. So changes for the National League defensively. Giles a 5 and a 2 in left. Walker a 10 and an 8 in right. Kendall a 4 and a 1 behind the plate. And Eric Chavez will pinch hit and play third. The A at 286, 19 homers, and 55 RBI. Pitched from Vasquez. Ground ball right side, base hit. So Walker will pick it up. Garrett Anderson's day is done. Carlos Beltran will come in. Carlos at 292, 9 homers, and 34 RBI. Vasquez deals. Struck him out. 2-2 curve got him. And that will bring up Juan Gonzalez as a pinch hitter. So Bernie's day is done. Juan gone at 364, 23 homers, and 86 RBI in his 1 year with Cleveland. Chavez with good speed, runner on first. 12 hits for the Nationals, 6 hits for the Americans. Struck him out. So 1-2 curveball in there for strike 3. Jorge Posada will come in to catch the rest of the game for Irod at 290. The Yankee with 12 homers and 46 RBI. Base hit up the middle. So Chavez will hold at second. And as Robbie Alomar heads to the bench, a standing ovation as Brett Boone comes to the plate from the Mariners at 342, 16 homers and 70 RBI. So Vasquez trying to hold this to a 6-1 game with 2 out here in the 6th. Pitch to Boone. Fly ball left field, well back there, and that ball is off the wall. Brian Giles grabs it. Chavez scores. Posada will score. A 2-run double from Brett Boone makes it 6-3. So the home team happy with that. Ordonez will stay in the game. He's 0 for 2. He has stolen a base, walked, and struck out. Vasquez deals. Slow ground ball to Walker. Todd over to Klesko, and that will do it. But Brett Boone at least gives the American League something to smile about. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th, 6-3 NL. So all sorts of changes now. Carlos Beltran is a 3 and an 8 out in left. Doesn't play left very often. Ordonez a 3 and a 9 in center. Juan Gonzalez a 5 and a 7 in right. Chavez a 10 at third. Boone a 6 at second. Sweeney a 7 at first. Posada an 8 and a 3 behind the plate. And we'll give Hudson the second inning. We got all the pinch hitters in, so So 6-3 to score. Albert Pujols with an RBI single his first time up. Right to Boone, who gets almost a standing ovation. Over to Sweeney, 1 out. Somebody asked me what the football idea is. The thing is, with football games, they take a long time to play. Here's Edmonds. Jim is doubled. 1 for 2 with an RBI. So Mr. Gardner and I were talking, as we often do, and we wondered if anybody would be interested in me doing a fast drive football replay. Not every game, of course. There's a number of seasons where the scorers are identified, so we would do one of those. So a 60s or 70s season, or maybe even last season if that's what you guys wanted. And would do those like 1 day a week after baseball season is done. See, take an hour and get a couple games in. What we think the best games on a given week. So what's your thought for that? Because people like when I do football. Pitch to Edmonds. Long drive, center field, and Jim hits this one out of here. So on to the batting eye. Edmonds with a home run. It's 7-3 NL. So the National League have made a mockery out of this. You know, they don't get home field because they won the All-Star game. Yep, it did take a lot of time. So here's Walker. Todd walked his first time up, appropriately. Hudson deals. Ground ball to Chavez. Over to Sweeney. And Todd beat it out. An infield hit. That'll do it for Hudson. Derek Lowe coming in from the Red Sox. 6-3 with a 4.58 ERA and 16 saves. That gets him an All-Star appearance. 59 innings, 66 hits, 4 homers, 23 walks, and 58 strikeouts. 28 years old. Fastball at 93 and a ground ball plus pitcher. Cologne is the one that will be held for extra innings. But right now, that seems like a long way away. Aurelio, 1 for 3. Neffy Perez will come in. Neffy at 282 with the Rockies, 7 homers and 44 RBI. The Rockies have a lot of all-stars. Pitch to Neffy. Got him! So a 2-2 fastball. 60s or early 70s. Yeah. Those are the enhanced seasons in Fast Drive. Here's Jason Kendall. He's 0 for 1. 2 out. Low deals. And Walker was trying to steal but couldn't get a jump. So Kendall 0 for 1. Ground ball to Sweeney, and that will be stretch time. National League 7, American League 3. Oops. Dun da 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 da. Apparently when I changed the picture it cut the sound, so Kurt Schilling will get the 7th inning. Kurt 11-3 with a 2.15 ERA. 142 in the 3rd innings, 118 hits, 20 home runs allowed. He's walked his 22. and struck out a whopping 159. He's 34, throws that splitter at 88, and is a standard pitcher. And in a little taste of possibly October, it'll be Derek Jeter. But first, I forgot I made more slides. People always ask about leaders and such. And so here are the top 10 in batting in the majors at the All-Star break. Jim Thome, Juan Gonzalez, Larry Walker, Lance Bergman, who wasn't here tonight. J.D. Drew wasn't here. Neither was Jeff Conine or Ichiro. Home runs, they've all played tonight. And its top 5 are all National League. Runs batted in, Juan Gonzalez with 86, Helton with 83, and Luis Gonzalez with 82. ERA, Pedro Martinez is hurt, or else he would have started this game for the American League, coming off of that wonderful 2000 and 1.70 ERA. Joe Mays got the start. He had the second best with 2.67. Frank Castillo at 2.88 for Boston. Kevin Tapani at 2.91 couldn't make the team. The wins, Russ Ortiz, the winningest pitcher in baseball. Musina, Schilling, and Johnson with 11, and Powell now with Colorado. And Houston has 10. There's quite a few that have 10 wins. And then strikeouts, would you look at that? 191 for Randy Johnson. And can you imagine if Pedro had been able to pitch? And if you're looking at team stats, look no further than the Rockies hitting 302. The Mariners 294 and Cleveland 287. Diamondbacks the best ERA in baseball at 3.53. I think that's the White Sox at 3.63 and the Yankees at 3.64. Best gloves, the Phillies at 9.88, the Indians at 9.86, and the Astros at 9.85. And that just gives you a little look about who's doing what as we go in the second half of the season. Jeter singled his first time up. Schilling starts his ninth, ground ball to Perez, who's a 7 at short, over to Klesko for the out. So Giles from the Pirates in left, Edmonds from the Cardinals in center, Walker from the Rockies in right. Pujols at third from the Cardinals, Perez at short from the Rockies, Walker at second from the Rockies, and Klesko from the Padres at first. Kendall from the Pirates behind the plate, and Schilling from the Diamondbacks on the mound. Tejada, the DH from the A's, is 0 for 1. Base hit down the line and left. Giles will have to come get it. Pujols, a rookie play, and Tejada's on with a double. So I'll bring up Mike Sweeney, who's 0 for 1. So Tony Gwynn is injured, and Cal Ripken did not make the team. But they posed with the GOATs earlier in the day. They are here. And they are, of course, ticketed for Cooperstown as soon as possible. Pitch to Sweeney. In the left center, Edmonds moving over. Will make the catch. Tejada goes back to tag. And with 2 out, they're not going to run on Edmonds' arm. In fact, he just threw a strike to Pujols. 2 out for Chavez. Eric singled and scored. 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the National League. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the American League. And everybody's left on 8 as we play the bottom of the 7th. Schilling deals. Struck him out. So that'll do. No runs, no hits, or 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 8th inning here in Seattle. People got their coats on now, 62 degrees. It's 7-3 National League. So Keith Foulke gets the call from the White Sox. Yeah, it's been a one-sided game, Dave. This really has not been an all-star to remember. But if you go back a few places watching this, you can see all the slides I made. Falk 1-0 with 22 saves and an earned run average of 164. 28 years old, change-up pitcher, fastball at 90, and a ground ball plus pitcher. The American League will save Rivera from the ninth. Larry Walker's 0 for 1. Fly ball, left center. Ordonez, 1 out. Here's Klesko. Ryan's 2 for 2 with a run scored. The lone home run in the game was an American League one. No, I'm sorry. Jim Edmonds has one too. Ground ball to Sweeney. 2 out. So here's Vladimir Guerrero, the DH. Vlad has a single. Ground ball to Chavez. And that will retire the side. Go to the bottom of the 8th here at Safeco Field. No runs, no hits, no errors. It's the National League 7, the American League 3. So the National League, quite a few pitchers who won't pitch tonight. Rob Nen for the Giants will get the 8th. Nen 2 and 3, 24 saves, an earned run average of 152. 31 years old, fastball at 93, and a ground ball plus pitcher. How did I not? Yeah. National League has used 6 pitchers. American League has used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beltran's 0 for 1, Carlos. Ground ball to Pujols. Albert picks it up. Long throw across the way to Klesko for the out. Here's Juan Gonzalez. He struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And then deals. That's into center. Edmonds going back. How you doing? And that ball is long gone. Or one gone. Off the batter's eye in center field. And it's now a 7-4 ball game. So there is some hope for the American League faithful here in the bottom of the 8th. So Gonzalez takes Nen deep. And there wasn't a blessed thing Jim Edmonds could do. Rivera warming up for the American League in the 9th. Here's Posada. Jorge has singled and scored. Struck him out. So 2 out. A 1-2 fastball in the outside corner. And here's Brett Boone. His 2-run double in the 6th made it a 6-3 ball game. This has been pretty one-sided. But the American League still clinging on to it. Some sort of hope. Pitch to Boone. Fly ball left field. Giles will make the catch, and that will retire the side. American League gets the home run from Juan Gonzalez as we go to the 9th. 7-4 National League. So Bartolo Colon will be the extra inning man if we need it. Mariano Rivera is 5-0 with 22 saves and an earned run average of .68. In 40 innings, he's allowed 24 hits, a home run, has walked 5 and struck out 37. Little Big Mo, yep, Enter Sandman, there you go. And you got And you got 100 balloons for that. I'm not sure what those do, but you get them. 31 years old, cutter at 89, and an extreme ground ball pitcher. So Giles, Pujols, and Edmonds here in the ninth. 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the National League. They leave on 8. American League, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and they've left on 9. Pitch to Giles. Struck him out. A full count fastball. Got him swinging. So here's Pujols. Albert 1 for 2. He is singled and driven in a run. Ground ball to Boone over to Sweeney. And there's 2 away for Edmonds, who is 2 for 3. Has doubled, homered, and driven in 2. Got him. So that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The American Leaguers need 3 to tie and 4 to win. So Billy Wagner from the Astros comes in to close this one out. Wagner 3-0, 22 saves, an earned run average of .82. In 33 innings, 20 hits, 9 walks, 43 strikeouts, and the buggy whips out in left field go back into action. Jason Giambi. Cliff Floyd, by the way, will be the only National League position player not to hit. Giambi at .332, 22 homers and 73 RBI, so the American League have used all their position players. Billy Wagner from your former college, says Brent. If the American League can tie, Bartolo Colon is stirring in the pen. Giambi base hit, left field. Giles will pick it up. So a single, and here's Derek Jeter, who is 1 for 2. Jeter had a single. A-Rod started this game. Pitch from Wagner. Ball 4, and so now the tying run is at the plate for Miguel Tejada, who took over for Manny Ramirez as the DH. Miguel has a double, and a home run now ties the ball game. So 7-4 National League as this one tightens up at the end. Remember, in the 5th inning, it was 6-1 NL. Pitch to Tejada. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Giles, and Brian will make the catch for the out. Giambi will hold. 1 out for Mike Sweeney, who was 0 for 2. So Giambi, future Yankee of America, on second. Derek Jeter with the gift bag on first, and Sweeney, no relation to anybody, the tying run. Eric Chavez on deck. Wagner, deep breath, struck him out. An 0-2 fastball got him looking, and it's last chance saloon for the American League. So Chavez 1 for 2 with a run scored and a strikeout. So here we go. 7-4 National League trying to hang on. Wagner deals, gets away from Kendall, and everybody moves up 90. So Giambi on third, Jeter now on second, and a 2-2 count to Chavez. Wagner deals, base hit up the middle. Giambi will score. Here comes Jeter. Edmonds will throw home, and they got him! The ball game's over! Jason Kendall saves the ball game. He blocks the plate And Derek Jeter is not Pete Rose. Jeter couldn't knock him over. And so not only is Jason Kendall the hero for the National League, he's also a weeble wobble. You just couldn't knock him down. And the final score here from Seattle, the NL hold on to win this one by the score of 7-5. So in 3 hours and 59 fake minutes, the National League nearly blow a 5-run lead. Javi Vasquez gets credit for the win, although he gave up 2 runs. Poor Jeter. Everyone go, oh. That was Valentine smiling on that one. Joe Mays takes a loss. The American League bullpen did great the last 2 2/3. And so our Digital Dice MVP is going to be Jim Edmonds. His homer and 2 RBI seemed to make the difference, but overall, this ended up being a good ball game. 7 runs, as you can see from all the moves there. Holy camoly. So 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the National League. They're left on 8. 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and the American League left on 10. The pitching lines for everybody. Billy Wagner gets a save he clearly does not deserve. And Mariano Rivera struck out 2 in his inning. But it ended up being a pretty good ball game. I didn't think it was gonna. So the final score here, the National League 7, the American League 5. We try out OOTP Perfect Team tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern. And the second half of this replay starts Tuesday night in prime time. Until tomorrow night, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you the next time. Good night, everybody.